Rain coming down strongly at the Melbourne Cricket Ground. No Greg Williams for Carlton. Bond into the team. North Melbourne go to the right of screen. Brett Ratton, who started in the centre square, gets the first kick of the match. Two centre half forward. Pearce takes a terrific mark. Came out of the blue. I don't think anyone expected him to take it. Goes to Kernahan and gets him. Well, you'd think it was 25 degrees and dry with that forward play from Carlton.
And that's Mickey Martin's worst nightmare. That sort of pass is unstoppable, no matter how good the full-back is. And he's just going to have to hope that North Melbourne apply a lot of pressure in midfield.
So the captain of Carlton, who's kicked 19 goals in just 3 matches this season. He kicked 2 against Collingwood, missed the next, and then's gone 10 and 7. Kicked 5 in the opening quarter last week. Gives it a hook though. And a miss. So a let off there for North Melbourne after a very promising attack. Kernahan with a point.
Peter Dean on Wayne Carey as we expected. Carey playing well up the ground. He's in the middle of the square.
Smith kicks into the near side half-back flank area, and up in front a good mark taken by McKernan. North Melbourne would be wanting a big performance by some of their more responsible players, of which Corey McKernan can be classified as one now. Christou gets it out wide. This is Hannah. Hannah is marked right on the wing. Members side of the ground here at the MCG. Very steady rain falling, which is going to make the conditions a little awkward. Oh, is it awkward? You're kidding, Robbo. What a great mark by Kernahan. 50 metres from goal. May judge this one a little better. Gets it right to the line, but off to the left. And through for his second score, 2 behinds against Stephen Kernahan. North Melbourne yet to score, but it's very early in the piece. And a fair crowd too gathering here at the Melbourne Cricket Ground. Obviously, most of them back under shoulder.
Short to Blakey.
And very interesting tactics here by North Melbourne in their forward line. They've got their 4 forwards in the goal square. Nobody in between the centre and full forward.
Ross Smith, Carey, Dean with him. It's going to be one of the big jewels of the day. Quick handball by the Blues. Koutafidis fell over Clappe there. Schwass out of the centre. This is going to be an awkward ball. McKay goes for it. Silvani. His backline for Carlton has been outstanding over the last 3 seasons. Silvani gets the boundary line at centre wing. Pretty good result from there.
And I wonder, Bruce, whether the tactics here by North Melbourne is in response to, I guess, the pretty harsh criticism by some judges about North's game plan of just continually bombing the ball to Wayne Carey at centre half forward.
Here's Armstrong, back to Laidley, high one round the body. Still at centre wing. Rock sets himself.
Good mark.
Plays on to Schwass. Delivered it perfectly. Schwass to centre half forward. Silvani went, so did Dean. Ball goes to ground. Tough there. McKay's handball. Silvani had to give it away in a hurry. Back to McKay. Wobbles one towards the boundary line. Goals are not going to be easy today. And just beats King, who was after it in a hurry. Out of play, about 80 metres from North Melbourne's goal.
But early in the match you can see evident a more dynamic forward line for North Melbourne with the big space. They've got all their forwards running forward, creating havoc up there.
Blakey takes it from the throw-in. Off to Anthony Rock. Rock's kick to half forward. Good mark. Look at Dean already covered in slush. Peter Dean from 50 metres. Doesn't really go down the ground all that much, but he gets it to Christou in the open. Christou, a thumping punt kick towards half forward. Kernahan, third in line, knocked away. Ross Smith in a bit of trouble. Clappe providing a contest. Bradley appealing for the free kick, but the umpire will bounce about 45 metres from the Carlton goal.
Schwass on Hannah on the wing. Should be a fantastic battle, Robert.
And the umpires there officiating at this afternoon's game. Martin gets it back. Armstrong squeezes a kick out of a tight area at half-back, out in the McKernan direction. Madden runs him down, tackles. Well done by the big fellow. Very important that he made that chase. And now the contest at half-forward. Koutafidis to Silvani. Silvani bangs it back near the wing, but a safe mark is taken out there by King, and that could be a penalty against Camporelli.
And double the distance today because the ball is going to drop considerably shorter than on a dry day. So this is a pretty harsh penalty, but it was fairly undisciplined play there by young Camporelli.
And look at this, King inside 50 now. I think he let Camperelli know too that he's taken note of it. The boy from Port Melbourne, King, played 19 games last year with North Melbourne. In his debut season, kicks from 50, good kick by King, it's there, it's a goal. That's a real stinger, isn't it, against Camperelli's name?
No doubt about that, Bruce. That just goes to show how just a touch of undisciplined play can really cost you. I mean, it doesn't hurt King there. He's a tough character. He's not going to put him off his game. Nothing came of that for Carlton whatsoever, except a negative 6 points on the scoreboard.
So the umpire electing to just throw the ball straight in the air. Very awkward conditions now after, well, the morning started off all right, but as we see, Rock and Ratton just test their strength.
I think the umpires, Robbo, on a day like today can really make or break the contest. They've got to find that balance between paying free kicks that are there and also keeping the play going.
Again, just prepared to throw it in the air. Hannah off the ground, gets about 15 or 20 metres towards the Carlton goal. Down goes Camperelli. Fierce at the player there was Brown on Blakey.
And that's my point, Robbo. I think if Camperelli's prepared to put his body on the line and he cops one high, those free kicks have to be paid. It's getting the ridiculous stage how few free kicks are being paid at the moment.
Well, maybe that can be discussed at board level, where the decision makers are, the rule changes.
You're talking about Monday Night Football.
Christou just missed the body there. Whitehead gets back. Allison had his hands there. Over the top of it was Robert Scott. So it's going to be a ball up about 45 metres from North Melbourne's goal. They're 4 points in front. David King, the goal scorer. Kernahan, after two great marks, missed two opportunities for Carlton. Dean with the gloves on today, caught. Good tackle by Rock. He'd looked for the free, but wasn't coming. And it's going to be another throw up about 50 metres from goal.
Actually, I tend to agree with you, because otherwise there's going to be too much of this, isn't it?
Just rugby scrums all over the ground. Actually, the tap on and the kick off the ground are vital skills under these conditions.
Madden and McKernan. Koutafides, quick kick, gets about 40 metres into the heart of the centre square. Ross Smith, who played his 200th last Monday night. Left-hand handball, missed Stevens. Good hands by Armstrong. Back to Stevens. Stevens, good penetrating kick. Right there, Longmire controlled it beautifully. Was looking for a handball, I feel. Oh, that was slicked by Archer. And hits the post, Keenan Reynolds, from 20 metres out. Gee, the Archer handball was a very fast one. Yeah, real fast.
Was it a handball?
Questionable.
Close, Robbo. One of those close ones. 1 to 2 points.
There might
7
be
to
a
2.
couple of replays of it during the week, Bruce. Silvani kicks into the members' side. Doesn't really get onto it, but Dean judged it well in front of the pack. Short kick finds Hannah. Hannah's got a little bit of space to run. Elects to go short. Not bad either. Moving it on. There was Clappe. Now the tackle on Brown was quite effective by Rock. And the ball forced over for a boundary throw-in. It's in Carlton's forward half.
Michael Sexton, Robbo, just in the hands of the trainer, appears to have a problem with his eye, perhaps.
I think he's a contact lens man, Sexton. Brown tries to get it clear of that congestion. Succeeding was Pearce. Up in the Kernan direction. This should be a goal. He can't pick it up. Off the ground, Spalding. Misses. Comedy of errors, but let's not be too critical, because we've already mentioned about these conditions being awkward, and I suppose for the first time this year the players maybe take a little while to adjust.
Yeah, well, it hasn't been these sorts of conditions. That's probably no excuse for missing that one, except for the fact that it's early in the piece and pretty anxious to get his foot on the ball.
Smith out wide. You just wonder about games sometimes. You get signs early, don't you? Here's King. Carlton have had 3 chances and missed 3. North Melbourne have had 1 50-metre penalty and kicked a goal. Here's Dean. What's happening, Robbo? Rock's down the forward line, yeah, for North Melbourne. So if the ball gets down there, they'll have 1 extra man. Archer with McKay. That's not a bad matchup. Archer went to ground. McKay, oh, it took a long time. Both Archer and Armstrong able to put a tackle on. Whitehead over the top of it at centre wing. Goes to half forward. Front spot Pearce. And good defensive play against Pearce there by Freeborn, playing his first game from Woodford West Torrens in South Australia. And he thumps it over the line, the 22-year-old.
Amazing, Gerard, that he could be standing there, Anthony Rock, for so long. Now there's a Carlton player coming back. It's Whitehead, who obviously took the initiative and followed the ball right down the ground. The Blues go forward. Shot for goal. It's a goal. Kick for Carlton by Camporelli. So Camporelli, I would say, playing on King. King has kicked North Melbourne's goal. Camporelli has kicked the Blues first.
And one of the benefits of playing in these conditions, and there aren't too many, is that if you do kick the ball straight and it falls short of the goal, it will slide in a straight line. And you saw Scott Camporelli understanding that and just placing the ball beautifully to score a major.
Carlton lead by 2 points. Camporelli and King exchanging pleasantries, verbal pleasantries, of course, as Hannah kicks the Blues to half forward.
Almost at 50. Spalding, handball out by Ratton, out wider off the ground Gleeson. Good take by Martin. That was very well done by Mickey. And a good mark taken by Stevens in front of Bradley. Stevens chips away, was looking for Schwass. That's the danger of missing the body today. Camporelli, well, the ledge is squared for him. He did it in a hurry. Gleeson's kick. Lady got a little push and will get a free kick. At centre half back. He's going to come back. It's a very brave footballer lately. It's on Clappe today. Both started their career at West Coast. Not sure what the overlap was between the two. Might have been a season. To centre wing, McKernan. Now the forward line ignites for him. Kicks it to centre half forward. Archer, front spot. Silvani, Dean had an airy. Whitehead just pushes it in front of him off the ground. Long way to go with him. North have got numbers. Carey leaves it for Stevens. McKay tackles Stevens. It's going to be a bounce. 1 goal, 3 Carlton, 1-1 North Melbourne. Rain has been falling for 3 hours here at the MCG. Pretty good crowd when you look around the top deck. Probably about 40,000. That's good in the conditions today. Carey and Madden. Madden clearly. Off the ground by Sexton, by Camporelli, I should say. Free kick to the Blues. This is Clappe. Laidley doesn't like it. So Clappe from the heart of the centre square.
Clappe looks to play on. Now he's been asked to do so by the umpire. Why, I wonder. The kick was blocked off the boot, but it's still now near the centre. Stevens, Schwass run down by Hannah. Hand pass to the feet there of Allison. It was a pretty good gather by Brett Allison. Left foot kick, not far enough. Sexton marks. So the Blues defence standing up, as is, of course, North Melbourne's. Only 1 goal to either side. Hannah goes inboard. Good running provided by Christou. Now he goes long to half forward. A good kick covers the pack. Back there Spalding. Off the ground. Bradley, have another go? No, he won't get it because that dour defender, Ian Fairley, hurries it through for a rush behind to Carlton.
3 points to difference. The Blues leading 10-7. Unbeaten this season. North Melbourne with 2 wins, 2 losses. King, Camporelli, the goal scorers, playing on each other on the wing. So the Kangaroos attacked through the centre. Dean went for a punch. Armstrong. McKernan, who's been prominent early, to half forward. Silvani judged it very well against Longmire. Took the mark. Comes out wide. Gee, Hannah's been able to run off Schwass today. He's got Madden all on his own. And also Fraser Brown. Madden takes the mark, chips away, loose men for the Blues. Clappe at half forward. Kernahan now can kick to the goal square here. And kick it to Kernahan. That's what he's going to do. That's a terrific kick. It's right there. Kernahan sets himself. Good play by Fairley to come in late. And just hurt Mickey Martin out. I think Mickey was pretty thankful of it all. The Clappe kick was the right one. He probably waited a couple of seconds too late.
Yeah, I guess that because of the ground conditions, he just couldn't quite get back quickly enough. And
it was a great play by Fairley, though, wasn't it? Just took him on and just smashed the pack.
Yeah, my word. He's a good defender. underrated, Ian Fairley. The kick-in has been marked by Schwass. Schwass is at centre-half back, runs back towards full-back, and then kicks rather ordinarily by Wayne Schwass's standards. He really didn't gain any ground. He kicked it straight across the ground. It's out of bounds now, 50 metres from the Carlton goal. Spalding there to do the ruck work, and Fairley to do the same for the Kangaroos, but up over the top is Lagley. Bashes it back towards the centre of the ground. McKernan's handball over the top. Stevens, his kick goes towards half forward. Silvani punches from Longmire, and the ball safely over the line in front of Whitehead. Silvani at one end of the ground with Ian Fairley at the other. Both very, very important defenders for their respective sides. McKernan up against Madden. 1-5 to 1-1, the Blues lead. Throw in really favoured Justin Madden, and Armstrong does well, but slips as he tries to get the ball back to Anthony Rock. And that boundary umpire just being worked a little bit harder than normal over there on that outer half-forward flank area for North Melbourne.
About 80 metres from the goal for the Kangaroos. Madden. Ratton, eased off it by Smith, well played by Smith. Free kick to Scott, was held on to. Gleeson running with Scott today, Stevens running with Bradley. Hannah's got the job on Schwass. Robert Scott comes out wide, Longmire the target, Clappe, Courage. Oh, they might get away with it. Christou is going to take it, Clappe. It's just sort of a backhander to Camporelli. He's got a bit of time now, he's got Bradley short. Will he hit him on the chest? He does. Good play by Camporelli. Just 19 years of age, he's shown some maturity today after giving away a free kick and a goal early. He's come back very strongly. Craig Bradley, what a wonderful servant he's been for Carlton. 3 times their best and fairest. One of their very best players all time, you'd say, Bradley. Kick to centre wing, Rock's handball under pressure. McKernan went off the ground, didn't get far. Freeborn hip and shoulder on him. Madden gets down, the big fellow. Pearce is there. Quick kick away by King, up to half forward. Allison in the front spot, Christou with him. Longmire's little give. Allison's a good finisher. He's goal. It's his first goal for the year. Jared, he kicked a heap of goals last year, did Allison, but that's his first for 1995.
This sounds as though you've been waiting for that, Bruce.
No, I haven't been, but it was a good one.
Dennis Pagan certainly has been waiting. Brett Ellison is one of those players that perhaps has been a little bit slow to start the regular season after having a terrific Ansett Australia Cup.
Brett Ellison, the goal kicker for North Melbourne. That's their second. Bradley, quickly off the left foot, kicks it out to a vacant wing area. Leading in the race is Clappe. He's been quite serviceable for the Blues.
You saw Milt Hannah taking the ruck for Carlton just because they interchanged during the break and couldn't quite get Allen into the centre quick enough.
Kick by Clappe to half forward. The ball spills fairly. Smothered off the boot there by Gleeson, but the kick effective enough to find touch for the Kangaroos. Defending across half-back. Boundary throw in left half forward for Carlton. And still the steady rain continues to fall at the Melbourne cricket ground. What promised to be, in my opinion, an unbelievable spectacle, the way football's been going. This match between North Melbourne and Carlton now being ruined just ever so slightly by this continual rain.
It's going to be a hard slog now for both sides, and I'm not sure Dennis Pagan will be all that unhappy about that.
No, well, I thought maybe North would win, but I think this brings them right into contention. The Carlton big fellows, Kernahan, Madden, Allen and Spalding, negated somewhat. Here's the North Melbourne side, striving to clear the ball from half-back. The ball flicked out the back, chance for Brown. Handball Gleeson. Gleeson quickly over the top. Camporelli, can he get past? Yes, he can. Handball to North Melbourne, though. Anthony Rock. He's 50 metres from the Carlton goal. He kicks it out towards the wing. The high flyer was Allen, couldn't grasp the ball. Kick off the ground by Schwass, into the centre, but only as far as Clappe. He gets rid of it quickly. Across the half-forward line, the marker's been taken by Pearce. Pearce, a lively customer so far in 95 for the Blues, having crossed from the Bears. Brad Pearce, the kicker towards half-forward, is short, and the mark is taken back there by Fairley.
Played his first game this season, last week against Richmond. Missed the first 3 games for North. Here's Hannah to Bradley. Normally constructive, runs his full measure. Goes long to centre half forward. Brown was in the front spot. Stevens onto it. He's Bradley's opponent. Brown, free kick there to Brown, I thought, but not paid. And is that deliberate?
Good decision that time from the umpire. But North Melbourne are kicking the ball out of defence to either Wayne Carey or Glenn Archer. They haven't got the numbers at the fall of the ball.
Blues about 40 metres from goal. Kernahan and Martin. Martin wins that one. Gains some valuable meterage as he gets it outside the 50. Rattenmill's chopped off by Schwass. Well done. Here's Clarkson who's come onto the ground. He paddles it to the boundary line. It's out of play. About 70 metres now from the Blue goals. It's 1-5 Carlton, 2-1 North.
Interesting to see John Longmire up the ground trying to get himself into the play. He's playing in front of Wayne Carey now.
North Melbourne lead. It's Fraser Brown being fairly effectively tied up there by John Blakey. The umpire will be forced to throw it in the air. So certainly not favouring either side when he does that, which I think is reasonably fair for both teams. Nearly taken by Pearce. Ball spills towards the line, taken over by Anthony Stevens, so we'll have another boundary throw in. The play is about 80 metres around from the Carlton goal. North Melbourne lead by 2 points. They're 2-1. The Blues are 1-5. Again, difficult for the players to clear that pack. And the boundary umpire on this side of the ground now getting his share of the action. 4.5 minutes left in this first quarter. And the ruckman at it again. Spalding gets his hand to it, but only as far as Armstrong. Armstrong's kick chopped off by Silvani it was it? Now a real struggle there by Clarkson. He's going to get a free kick. Umpire deemed that maybe is in the back, so Clarkson will kick North Melbourne in towards centre half forward in the Carey direction. The ball spills to the front. Ratton provides the shepherd there for Whitehead. He's caught. No, too high. So Whitehead will take the free kick, and the Blues breathe a sigh of relief. He goes wide out into the path of Mackay. King number 34. Mackay providing the shepherd Christou. Mackay dumped by Allison. Ball spills for Camporelli. That was a dry ball handle there by Camporelli, and the mark sliding on his knees taken by Pearce, and that really was classical football by the young Carlton player Camporelli. The one-handed pickup and then the delivery to Pearce. You would think it was dry day footy. Carlton 1-5, trail North Melbourne 2-1. Pearce can put the Blues in front with this kick, but it's not accurate. In short, he does score, only a behind. So now North Melbourne lead by a point. 3 minutes left in the first term. Inaccurate Carlton 1-6, North Melbourne 2-1. The margin 1 point in favour of the Kangaroos.
Laidley gets it in the back pocket. So the Blues are in front in terms of stats everywhere, but the scoreboard kicks it outside 50. Is that a mark to Camporelli? Not paid. Carlton get it forward. Fairley runs it over the line with Camporelli. It'll be a throw-in. Camporelli claiming the mark. Well, he had a fair bit of it, was it? No, good effort. Hard mark of the umpire on that occasion. As long as everybody's consistent all day, there's never an argument. King, off the ground by Koutafidis. Camporelli's playing some sort of a quarter after that bad start. The full forward. Well done, Freeborn. Clappe. Allen tries one off the ground. Kernahan round the body. Bouncing ball just the wrong way. 3 points to Kernahan in the opening quarter. It's good play by the big fellow. And Carlton are 1-7, North Melbourne 2-1.
I think there, Jared, you might have seen one of those examples that you spoke about, intelligent kicking off the ground. I think it might have been Allen that banged it straight back towards half forward for Kernahan's opportunity.
Yeah, the principle's still there, though. A kick off the ground is fantastic if it goes to your advantage. We saw one from Schwass there go to the middle of the ground to a couple of Carlton players early in the quarter, which is better off maintaining possession himself.
Blakey to centre wing, McKernan in the front spot. Tackle on him was pretty good by Koutafidis. Dean works it forward. Hannah has to sit and wait. Got it from Allen. Gets it back to Silvani. Good handball to Hannah. To Koutafidis. Got his kick away quickly. Wobbles it to the 50. Spalding didn't time it too well. And Blakey was away. Gives it to Stevens.
Stevens goes straight down the ground. Looking out in front for Clarkson. Punched away by Mackay. Whitehead and Scott provide a good contest. In goes Allison. Ball spills nearly for Clarkson, but the strength of Mackay And he comes away with Silvani helping out. The ball is cleared to the safety of the line.
Fraser Brown just having a rest. Hasn't played a lot of football this season. He's been replaced by Barry Mitchell.
Gee, pound for pound, Andrew McKay would have to rate as one of the strongest blokes in the game.
Just a terrific back flanker. Maybe just off the boil a little bit last year. His first year was outstanding, and he's been in great form this year.
Gee, a bit of ruck work there was good. Kick off the ground by Pearce, up towards half forward. In goes Bradley. In trouble? No, maybe okay. Mitchell, tackled by Ross Smith. Ball spills over for throw-in. Just nuisance rain falling steadily. Kernahan, the two number 4s. Mickey Martin for North. Martin gets the front posse. Ball spills for Pearce. Now Gleeson. Spalding. Fairley is there. The ball now at the forward pocket. Taken by Matthew Allen. Allen just a fraction slow. Mitchell bumped off the footy and it spills for a throw-in. Left forward pocket for the Blues. Scoreboard showing that the teams are locked together. The Blues have had 8 shots at goal. Kernahan, the culprit at this stage, has kicked 3 behinds. Kick clear by Matthew Armstrong. Hannah up high, couldn't take the mark. Schwass in there. Bradley goes to ground, puts some pressure on him there, Mill. And Wayne Carey's handball goes over. And we must have had nearly a record number of boundary throw-ins in the first quarter. Looks like it's been about 25 already. Left half forward for Carlton. 2.5 kicks from their goal. Again, aerial ping pong, but Bradley's got a chance. Off his left foot, kick not quite far enough. And Stevens in front of Matthew Allen is marked for the Kangaroos.
On to the left, in towards the centre square. Silvani giving a free kick away this time to Longmire. He's been on top, Silvani. Time ticking away. We've got about a half a minute remaining in this opening quarter. Longmire to centre half forward. Carey on his chest this time against Dean. His first clean possession for the day. And this would hurt Carlton a bit, a late goal, because they've had the best of it, the Blues. And Carey's going to kick basically on the siren here from about 50 metres out. Siren will sound as the ball goes through there or just before he kicks it. So goes from 50 and doesn't make the distance. So quarter time, scores 11 at the Melbourne Cricket Ground. Carlton 1-7, North 2-1. Second term of the Melbourne Cricket Ground, rain continuing to fall. No Greg Williams out there for Carlton. He withdrew before the match. Scores a level, 2-1 to 1-7. Stevens kicked to half forward. Sexton went off the ground. Archer dived on it. Did pretty well to get the handball. King was held on to. Then gets rid of Sexton in a hurry. Barry Mitchell to centre wing, marked by John Blakey. Back to Laidley. Free kick against.
That's ordinary.
Was it Freeborn or Blakey the free kick against?
But all he did was just try to brush him away.
Pearce's kick makes it to Mitchell.
Covered good ground in that passage.
He's at 50, Mitchell. Kernahan's keeping the goal square open. Not a bad tactic today with the ball coming over the back, you'd think, most times, and somebody to crumb it. And Armstrong concedes a behind, so the Blues edge to the lead. They're 1 goal 8. And at North Melbourne at 2-1. Had a lot of chances in the first quarter, Carlton. Kernahan kicked 2 points from set shots, and Spalding kicked one off the ground from the goal square to miss.
In the reserves, North Melbourne kicked 4-17, Bruce. Lost the game to Carlton, who kicked 8-6. Maybe a trend here in the seniors with the Blues inaccurate early. Schwass it is that kicks it well outside 50 metres, and that's not a bad effort. McKernan's mark. Slips over. What's happened there? He's hurt his finger.
Dislocated the finger.
As he slipped over, he may
see
have...
that finger there, Robbo. She's pointing
very
south.
ordinary.
It should be going north.
Now, I'm not real keen on that, actually.
Well, they do hurt.
Yeah, it certainly looks as though it does, Kieran.
The physio to pop it back into place.
Well, McKernan's kick goes into the centre of the ground, kicked forward by Spalding to half forward, and well done. McKernan's there again. Gets the handball away to Laidley. Laidley, a long, wide hand pass. Blakey is at right half back, able to get an effective boot at the ball, back towards the wing, taken by Sexton. Free kick, and it looks as though it's going to North Melbourne. Quickly taken by Anthony Rock. Didn't quite see what that was for.
Well, Milhana just collided bodies with him.
Rock to Armstrong at about 70 metres. Armstrong, familiar side as he goes onto the left. Dean went to ground. Carey unable to take the mark. Dean's handball. Christou will concede. 2-2 to 1-8.
Well, of course, no Trent Nichols for North Melbourne today, having been dropped, so somebody else is going to have to step up and take his role, which is that of a crummer in the forward line. Brett Allison, of course, kicked one in the first quarter, and he'll be relied upon for that job.
King and Allison got the goals in the opening term, and Camporelli for the Blues. 2-2-1-8. Christou taking his time. He'll be warned, he has been, then goes long, gets good distance. At the back was Koutafidis. Ratton, Koutafidis tries to get a kick away. McKay, Bradley, back towards Hannah. It actually sat for him nicely in the end. Hannah on the left to centre wing. Gleeson underneath it. Smith gets back. Probably could have taken the mark. Schwass's handball okay. Back to Freeborn, who's making his debut today. Up towards half forward. McKernan, Sexton, Hannah at centre half back. Kicks it into the centre square.
Yeah, well done by Hannah, first of all, to keep his footing and then run away. Delivers the ball with penetration. A good kick off the ground there by Camporelli in towards the 50-metre area. Martin, a handball down towards the wing and eventually taken over by Scott Camporelli at right half forward for the Blues. Looks like this rain has set in. Very, very ordinary conditions overhead. Kernahan doing the ruck work. Now Ross Smith gets the ball across there to King. McKernan. In goes Ratton. Yes, he squeezes a kick out close to the line. It's helped over by Laidley, and we'll have a throw-in. Laidley just holding his left shoulder there. So from North Melbourne's point of view, let's hope he's not restricted by that. Ruck contest. Ratton tried to take it through, but he was unsuccessful, and the ball held up at right half forward for Carlton. The Blues at the present time 1-8, North Melbourne 2-2. Scores level, but Stephen Kernahan has kicked 3 behinds, all in the first term, and not much happening at right half forward for Carlton.
Donalchenko's coming off the ground to be replaced by King, and on the far wing, the southern stand side wing, Milhana's been picked up by Robert Scott after having an enormous contribution as far as stats are concerned in the first quarter.
McKay's kick to Ratton, or went to kick on the left and fell over. Blakey off the ground. Whitehead, Schwass over the top. He started on Hannah Schwass. He also had 6 kicks in the opening term, but Hannah's had 8. Christou goes off the ground, almost to centre wing. Hannah tries it again off the ground. Christou, well done to back up because Scott was in the box seat. Gets right up to about 40 metres. Freeborn with Pearce, goes back towards Rock. He'll probably want to paddle it out, he does. Gleeson and Bashir out of play. But North didn't do all that well, did they? Carlton were able to force that forward a long way into their attack. Scores level at the Melbourne Cricket Ground between 2 of the teams who are expected to play a part in the finals this year. The Blues and the Kangaroos. Freeborn must have been a teammate of Camporelli's at Woodville West Torrens. And they won that premiership a couple of years ago. Koutafidis went off the ground. Here's Longmire, a long way from goal. Handball to King now. It's really up in the air and hoping, I think. And out of play, about 80 metres from the Carlton goal. 2-2, North Melbourne, 1 goal, 8 the Blues.
Bruce, I didn't see much of Richmond and Hawthorn a couple of weeks ago out at Waverley, but these conditions must be something similar.
4-16, 5-4 the score was on that occasion.
And very, very ordinary conditions prevailing. North Melbourne get the ball up towards the centre of the ground. At the back, Carey off the ground. Gets reasonable distance, but look at the ball hold up in the water. Just nigh on impossible. Dean. Well, one's ever doubted Peter Dean, and he was equally as courageous with his determination there to force the ball clear to the line. Ruckman in the back against McKernan, and the free kick will go to Justin Madden. Madden is just forward of the half-back flank area. His high kick is held up. The ball spills to the back. Ratton's a chance. Handball, telegraphed and chopped off beautifully by Freeborn. And he's got enough confidence to tap the ball on the ground. His kick goes in towards half-forward. Kicked off the ground by Sexton. Gets good distance. In towards half-forward. The race on here. Pearce gets it to the advantage of Hannah. Can't shrug to tackle. Handball. Little while. Down goes Ross Smith. Was he held? No. The play goes on. The kick goes back towards the centre of the ground. The gather is by Sexton. His kick in towards half-forward. Taken now by Clappe. It was Koutafidis rather. Now Ross Smith's little left-foot kick finds touch 50 metres from the Carlton goal.
See, Robert Scott did a good job a moment ago because Hannah was clear on it. The tackle was a beauty.
Yes, and you saw Hannah's handball go straight up in the air. One of the hardest things to do in these conditions is get good purchase on the ball when you handball.
The ball spills to the back. Chance now for Koutafidis. Effective kick to the goal front. Kernahan and Martin. Ball spills. Kick clear by Freeborn. Outside 50. Anthony Stevens hits all sorts of strife. Could have been nearly deemed as a free kick, surely. Justin Madden, but the ball spills to the back where Laidley clears for North Melbourne.
Carey and Dean go together. Carey goes to ground. Out of play. Had a shot for goal on the siren.
Let's just have a look at this. Does Anthony Stevens deserve a free kick? I would have thought so.
Well, it was high, wasn't it? Against Justin Madden. He probably couldn't get down any lower, but that doesn't make any difference. Madden, Sexton, good play by Stevens. Whitehead, as I said, Carey had a shot for goal basically on the siren in the opening term. Schwass's high ball, that's about his only big play for the day so far for Carey. Missed it, by the way, and Dean runs it out again.
Well, of course, Carey's one of his great strengths is his marking, and that certainly is nullified under these conditions. He's also great at ground level, though, with his extra fantastic pace, so he's going to have to keep moving around the ground.
Madden tried to lay it down for Gleeson. Bradley didn't have the footy. Was bear hugged and must get a free kick. He's having an interesting duel with Stevens, Bradley. He's had 5 kicks, make it 6 now, and Stevens going well with 7. Bradley gets it to Clappe at centre wing. So the Blues and North Melbourne are dead set level at this stage.
Well, that was an ordinary kick by Clappe. Just went straight along the ground, only about 10-12 metres towards the Carlton goal, and eventually forced over for a throw-in. We've got 13 minutes left in the first half, and the umpire has picked an infringement out in the ruck. Well, if you're going to do it once, you might as well fight about 15 like that. McKernan's kick to the wing, from the wing rather, to centre-half forward. Good chest mark taken by Carey. Wayne Carey gets round onto his right foot and then thumps a big kick towards the goal front. McKay just prepared to tap it clear.
Nothing wrong with a torpedo under these conditions, Robert. You can get more grip on the ball with your boot, and I think it's a valuable kick under these circumstances.
Madden to the front. Allison tackled by Christou, and the defence of Carlton, Silvani and McKay, combined to rush it through for North Melbourne. Another behind to the Kangas. They lead by that behind, 2-3 to 1-8. So the goal umpires will be getting a little bit cold. Kick in. Gleeson from centre-half back, kicks into the centre of the ground. Contest there. Ball spills. Little kick off the ground. Chance here for Blakey. That was a pretty good pick-up under the circumstances. And his kick goes wide, close to the wing. And King not quite able to get there in time. And another throw-in.
I'm not sure whether Blakey actually saw King then. May have been going for the boundary line. Great work to defend the ball as he did.
McKernan in the front. Madden somehow gets over the back. Mitchell and Camporelli. A couple of the blue players involved there for Carlton. Schwass picks himself up, so does Blakey. Right in front of our commentary box here at 7 Sport. Madden gains a few metres, punches it out, another throw in.
See, that nearly worked. You could see Mitchell having a bit of a chat to Big Harry then, couldn't you? Give the big thump down the wing and I might be able to swoop onto it.
Playing his 16th season, Madden. Bradley, free kick against him. He was playing for one, he just Had the ball hurled to him, pulled his arms out. Watch this. Looks for a free kick. Because the umpire said no attempt. Pretty harsh. Stevens kick. Sexton front spot, takes the mark in front of Carey. Bond came into the team, by the way, for Williams today. Sexton's kick. Centre wing, Spalding front spot. Clappe was being held on to, trying to punch it forward. The Blues, that time through Camporelli. Clappe went to ground. Little one off the ground, now Hannah. Well, Bradley's all on his own if he could only get the footy up. Scott again puts a good tackle on, holds him up, now Spalding. Left foot, doesn't go very far. Mitchell has to sit and wait. Mickey Martin punches it back to Spalding. Gee, it's difficult. To Whitehead. Goals are going to be like diamonds today. Blakey.
Ball it up.
So it's going to be ball up.
North Melbourne. They've got 21 men on the ground. Sorry, 19, Robert, you're right.
What happened there, Gerald?
Well, Danilchenko was replacing one of his teammates, and they both decided to stay on the ground for 5 or 6 seconds.
Archer, it was, but anyway, they're back to 18, and it's not really helping them because the ball on centre wing, difficult one there for Rock. He gets an effective kick, but it sits in the water. When I say it sits in the water, just absolutely motionless, nearly. Silvani's kick into the centre. Koutafidis gets the ball to Whitehead. He's run down. It's centre half forward for Carlton. In goes Gleeson. Tackle on Lady, not too bad. This is Ross Smith. Look, even he can't control the ball. Kick off the ground, goes into the pocket. And it goes over the kick from Mitchell. Ross Smith. Well, that ball is very difficult to handle. And still the rain falls. Kernahan at the back tries to tap it out. Succeeds in doing so. Kick off the ground by Sexton. Little tap into the path there of Camporelli. Camporelli's kick to the goal square. Oh yes, but that's a push in the back, I think, isn't it? No, it's a mark. Well, I thought the umpire blew the whistle so quickly that my anticipation was that there was just a little push out. As we have another look, well, it was there, but whether they're prepared to pay those, obviously not. Mitchell to take a spell on the interchange bench as Pearce goes for Carlton's second goal, and he kicks it. So it's been a long time coming. The first goal kicked by Camporelli not long into the first quarter, and we're down to 9 minutes left in the second term. The Blues get their second goal, and they lead. They're 2 goals 8. North Melbourne are 2-3.
Well, I think it's fair enough to play that mark. Certainly there was a motion with the hands, and the North Melbourne player was perhaps infringed, but I think that's part and parcel of football.
2-3 to 2-8. Carlton by 5 points after the Pearce goal. Madden and McKernan off the deck by King and gets it towards centre half forward. Christou went high. Good tackle by Silvani, then held on a little long, but gets away with it. McKay, desperate, Clarkson off the ground. And rolling through from behind. Some desperate footy there. 2-4, 2-8 the score now. Under Clarkson. Struggled Clarkson, hasn't he? He's played 50 games in his last 5 seasons. So he averages about 10 a year.
And currently playing in the forward pocket, you just don't get all that confident in him kicking a goal.
Gee, Sexton's made a meal out of this. Is unbelievable. A dreadful kick to Christou. The handball back put him under pressure. And he's, with 2 Carlton kicks and a handball, they've actually managed to get the footy about 25 metres away.
And before you jump down the throat of the microphone, Robbo, I think you're right. Today is the day where you just kick the thing long and get it out of your area.
So Armstrong to kick from 25 metres. You don't see that happen in footy too often, do you?
A long bomb to the 50-metre line is the goal, I'd say, Robbo.
So Armstrong, has he snuck it home?
Yes.
He's got it, it's a goal.
The only reason that you would question the validity or the common sense behind that is that you're giving a guy a free shot at goal. In these conditions, Bruce has already mentioned, goals are like diamonds, huh?
Exactly, and the plan that Carlton trying to implement there, they do that so well in the dry, but the ball only has to go slightly astray and you haven't got the footwork.
So play restarted back at the centre, and the Blues a chance to get forward. Bradley's little kick only as far as King. King gets it up to left half forward for North Melbourne. Longmire, handball not bad. Rock nearly goes over the line. Ratton, and it's been deemed as a throw. Well, the umpires have got to give these boys just a little bit of margin in these conditions. I know that from that viewpoint it was incorrect from what Anthony Rock did, but it's pretty hard to play good football out there, I would think. Kick by Ratton, taken by McKernan, in turn by King. King's kick high, and a good mark on the finish. Koutafidis gets rid of his opponent with just a little push, then goes on with it, kicks it wide to Brown. Brown in turn to Ratton. Ratton into half forward. It's punched away. Now a chance for Pearce. Can't get clear. Laidley, good shore ball handling. McKernan quickly, only as far as Ratton, and that's a good mark. That is a very good mark. He's kicked now in towards half forward. Punched away. No, it's a mark. Sexton had one touch of it, knocked away. The person in the goal square on his own. Back there, Bradley. And the ultimate professional. He doesn't drop a mark coming like that, Craig Bradley. And I would think that he's capable enough to convert here for Carlton. That's how a chest mark in wet conditions should be taken. And Bradley's had a fair start to the game. 7 kicks, 2 handballs. And his 8th kick could be a goal. Any rule against the towel being used to dry the ball? No, outside.
Interesting one. I thought the same thing. We might see it late in the game.
Bradley from only 20 metres out, slight angle, kicks for goal. The umpire in the goals has not moved. Bradley kicks his first goal. The Blues get their third, and they're back in front by 4 points.
Just wondered about it, Jared. I mean, it's late in the game, you're having a shot to win the match. The trainer comes out, wipes the ball for you.
Well, I don't think there's any problem with it, Bruce. In the old days, you used to wipe it on your jumper, but obviously the jumpers aren't much value today. But worth investigation.
Back in the centre, low-scoring game. Carlton in front again, 3-8, 3-4. The league changed hands 4 times in the opening quarter. It's changed hands 5 times in this term. Wouldn't read about it with just 6 goals having been scored. It's been nip and tuck, hasn't it? Here's Pearce, centre wing. Gets around finally onto the left. Doesn't get a lot of distance. Blakey in the front spot. Gleeson to try and put pressure on and couldn't.
It is the only position to be today.
In front. Blakey into the centre square. Silvani was there. McKernan, who's been excellent. Archer, Whitehead. It's been a bit slow getting rid of it twice, Whitehead. That time not so bad. Spalding, Whitehead again. That's good to Hannah. Hannah at 50. Hannah at 48. Left foot sprays it, unfortunately. Muley's had a lot of kicks today, 10 in fact, but that's out on the fall.
Just that extra handball of Whitehead's there. He was under pressure, I realise that, but when you're handballing under that pressure in these conditions, it perhaps is going to come unstuck, and anybody running clear at goal, I would think, is better off just kicking the ball.
So the throw in, about 55 metres from Carlton's goal. The rain's got heavier in the last 5 minutes. It looks like it's going to set in for the whole day, doesn't it?
My word. Here's a chance for the Blues. Clappe gets it to Brown, but he's well tackled. Robert Scott at the front, and the other one may have been Freeborn.
Is that a good start?
Yes, not bad at all for a first upper. So the umpire to throw it straight in the air. Spalding, fairly. Over the top was Laidley. McKay, Brown. 50 metres from the Carlton goal. Kernan couldn't take the mark. At the back, Bradley. Hacks it out of the air. Has that been touched? Yes, it has. It's touched off the boot. So a behind to Craig Bradley. And that again, gee, you could get a clip of that and show a few players how to throw yourself desperately to football.
It's a funny one too, Robbo, kicking in danger or not kicking danger, isn't it?
Too true.
Neither side has scored consecutive goals. They've been taking it in turns all the way through. Can the Blues get the next one before half-time? Bradley starting to play an important role up forward. Gleeson had it robbed by Clappe in the end. Silvani up there. Back to Koutafidis. Hooks it back. Chance for Pearce. Well done, Freeborn. Fairley gets back. Pearce in the pocket. Still in play. Freeborn. Well done, but all Fairley went without it. Gets back and runs it out deliberately. It'll be a throw-in. He was under pressure then, Fairley. Ran out of options.
Still just trying to finesse both sides. Just a little bit much, I would have thought.
Carlton deep in attack. Fairley over the back. Bradley to Brown. To Hannah. Talk about finesse, Gerard. Hannah, Clappe held on to. He's going to get a free kick. Against Laidley.
An interesting statistic would be how long in time transpires between free kicks. You know, on wet days, here's the towel coming out again. 7 free kicks each, so only 14 free kicks, 15 free kicks now, 8 to Carlton, 7 to North. Nearly half time.
He's been a good goal kicker, Clappe, this season. He's kicked 10 goals in his 4 games to date. It's not bad, is it? Just missing. I reckon the goal umpires are getting harder to read. Or maybe we're getting older. What do you think? 3-10 to 3-4?
Bit of both, Bruce.
28 to 22.
Obviously.
No doubt about that, Robbo.
Yes. Ross Smith to kick it in for the Kangaroos. Gets it outside 50. Kernahan in front. Not quite carrying him, the big Carlton skipper. In front, which has already been mentioned by Gerard Healy. Takes the safe chest mark. He kicks it to the front of the square. Well, this would have to be a miracle. Bradley nearly took it off the pack there. It's eventually kicked through. This might be a goal to Carlton. No. Well, the way that goal umpire was looking there, I thought maybe the Carlton player threw his boot at that. Clappe registering it behind. 3-11 to 3-4. And the Blues lead by 7 points close to half-time. Laidley kicks it to himself and then gets 10 metres closer to his goal and kicks it short, and a good mark taken by Spaulding, and a wry smile on Big Earl's face. Anthony Stevens, a North Melbourne player, coming in a little late. Spaulding, the player on the mark, is 50 metres from the Carlton goal, so you would think this would be nearly impossible. Still, we've seen this big fella do some unreal things. He gets onto it, kicks it to the square. Kernahan looking for the chest mark, and the ball tied up there right near the square, the goal square for the Blues.
I know Malcolm Blight is a big one for gaining momentum running into goal, but on today's circumstances, a lot of players prefer just 1 or 2 steps.
Kernahan and Martin. Again, just a congestion of arms and legs there. 4 players around the football.
Just to expand on that, Peter Dacos was one that used to kick the ball at goal on 2 steps because he often felt running in, he could often lose his grip on the ground if he ran in at any great pace.
Kernahan went there. Dalmachenko. Overran it. Mitchell held it up. Stevens has to kick quickly. Out towards half-back. King and Camporelli. And out of play. They're 2 of the goal kickers today. Camporelli's got 1 for Carlton. Pearce 1 and Bradley 1. Allison 1, Armstrong 1 and King 1 for North Melbourne.
And Longmire coming on for Robert Scott.
3-11 to 3-4. Ratton's handball after Kernahan had won it. Well played, Kernahan. Good hands by Clappe to Pearce. Clever. Good goal. He's a thinker, isn't he, that young man? That was terrific.
Well, it was a good play early, though, Bruce. You mentioned Kernahan's. I mean, 2 or 3 exchanges in there were slick in wet weather football.
Gee, that's a big goal too, Gerard, late in the second quarter.
Yeah, just forced forward here by Kernahan. That's the tap-ons that we were talking about. Nice little quick hands there also. And Brad Pearce, who doesn't get too much of the football, has certainly made his mark on this game.
4-11 plays 3-4. It's kicked out of the centre congestion, but there's been a free kick and it will come back.
Kicking in danger, Robert.
Kicking in danger against North Melbourne, so to take the kick is Whitehead. Goes short, and Mitchell couldn't take the mark. Away goes Ross Smith. Kick towards half forward. Slipping and sliding was Chris Dew, but he gets to his feet quickly. Very important in today's football. Kicks it back to the centre. Whitehead takes it clear. Denelchenko falls over. Mitchell goes down. Is that tackle too high? No. David King In towards half forward. Running with the flight of the ball is Sexton. Shepherd provided by Silvani. Sexton does well, very well. And then kicks off the side of the boot out towards the wing. Punch back towards the centre. Attempted kick from mid-air by King. Handball. Finds Clappe. Clappe's kick to full forward. Kernahan falls. Pearce, a little kick into the path of Hannah. Danilchenko to run him down. Hannah off the ground. Inside 50 goes Mill. Danilchenko good. Mill Hannah. And Danilchenko flips it through his legs for a boundary throw-in.
Well, it was clearly deliberately out of bounds on the full, but I think the umpires used common sense there and allowed it.
42 seconds left, so the Blues are a chance. Martin bashes it back. Hannah. Kernahan in front. Bash clear again, only as far as Mitchell and Danilchenko. The North Melbourne player quite happy to see that over for another throw-in. Carlton have kicked 4-11. North Melbourne have kicked 3-4. Margin 13 points in favour of the Blues. Kernahan nearly takes it out of the air. Kick clear by Armstrong. Back towards the centre of the ground. McKay tries to get the hand pass away. Then a little flip, only as far as Allison. Then clear by Armstrong, fairly. Gee, it's tough, isn't it? Not tough, but just difficult. Allison handles it pretty cleanly. Stevens leaves it behind, then can't regain his composure. Sexton goes in. Kicked off the ground by Dean. Out comes Christou. He goes for the safety of a kick off the ground again, right on the half-time siren. Well, you wouldn't say it's been pretty, but more effectiveness provided by the Blues, and they hold a 13-point advantage at half-time. They're 4-11. North Melbourne are 3-4.
Start of the second half of the Melbourne cricket ground. Rain continuing to fall. Carlton lead 4-11 to 3-4 at half-time. McKernan went. Schwartz tried to go off the ground. King did. Very, very heavy conditions now. Pearce. In the first half, the lead changed hands on 9 occasions until about halfway through the second quarter. Then Carlton got on top late in the second quarter. Strung 2 goals together. Doesn't sound much. It's a fair bit on a day like today. Madden wins the punch away. Schwartz onto it. North needing an early goal. You really think that they must get Jared a goal early on in this third quarter to stay in touch. If the Blues get it, then a 4 or 5 goal margin in these conditions is an almost unassailable break.
Yeah, have to agree there. And North have got a couple of changes. Keenan Reynolds is at full forward for them. He's been in the full forward line all game, but John Longmire is currently not there.
Christou, little toe poke after Reynolds got his kick away. McKay tried to get it to Koutafidis. Mitchell just pushed it forward in the direction of Clappe. Mill Hannah's after it. Had a terrific first half. Clarkson getting back with him. Hannah gets into his back free kick. Clarkson at centre wing.
So the free kick with North Melbourne behind the wing. He kicks in towards centre half forward proper. Nearly the mark there. Is it being paid to Sexton? If it wasn't a mark, it could have been deemed as a free kick. And Michael Sexton, a little bit of doubt about whether he would play, but it was, of course, Greg Williams that dropped out of the selected side. Kernahan attempting the chest mark. Camporelli gets it to the back. Martin was good. Put his body in. Mitchell, terrific ball handling. Bradley, just from a standing position, kicks it 40 metres towards goal. Pearce, a little kick at the ball. And goes for a throw-in. Martin and Kernahan have had a great battle for North Melbourne and Carlton respectively. Kernahan kicked 3 behinds in the first quarter. Hasn't really had much influence on the game, Stephen Kernahan. Clappe back to Bradley. Little attempted kick off the ground by Fairley. Good play there by King. Gets it to Schwartz. Schwartz, short kick, has been marked by Armstrong.
Who was just 2 yards in front of his man Koutafidis, and he comes up with an easy kick.
Oh, well done, Hannah. Just able to get 2 metres on his opponent.
Quick for Clarkson, Robert.
And pretty ordinary kick, though. Off the side of his boot. Gatherers by Pearce. Pearce into the pocket. And it goes over, bouncing just inside the boundary line.
I wonder, Robbo, if it's worth North Melbourne just doing a bit of experimentation with their key forwards. Perhaps Mick Martin to centre half forward. John Longmire is on the bench, go to full back. Wayne Carey to full forward. They're just
Just toss
really
it around a bit.
working for them.
Well, I'm sure they'll be thinking pretty hard about it, Dennis Pagan and his fellow selectors. Oh, Langley, gee, wish he didn't hide that very much. But the umpires look as though they're quite prepared to allow the players to take the ball over. No penalties yet in the game for deliberate out of bounds. And the ruckman to go at it once again. Martin and Kernahan. Kernahan from behind. Couldn't really get an effective fist to it. Mickey Martin breaks clear, but that kick was ineffective. In goes Mitchell again. Taken by Freeborn, tackled by Pearce. Ball spills for another throw-in.
Had plenty of those today, haven't we? Ball-ins, about 45 metres from Carlton's goal. Martin's been good at getting to the front on Kernahan. He doesn't make it this time. At the back, Spalding in the direction of Pearce. Will he go off the ground? He just keeps it in play. Gains 5 metres. Lately's pretty happy to see it out. Sensible umpiring in these conditions with the deliberates. Very hard to pick one. Just maintaining your feet is very difficult. Martin, Pearce, left foot, good kick, right to the goal square. Clappe, goal. Great goal for the Blues. It's his first, kicked a couple of points in the first half. Suddenly that's a big lead, isn't it?
You have to say that was a fairly offence, though, don't you think, in the goal square to give the player, like Clappe, just the clearance that he had.
I think he's a very talented drummer, Clappe. He's tallish for that sort of player. Bruce, you may be able to tell us exactly how tall he is, Clappe. He'd have to be 6'1" or 2 in the old language. He does take a good overhead mark, but also excellent at reading the play although a ruck over.
Actually, I think he's just under 6 foot. I was in the rooms after Footscray. He's not as tall as me. I'm 6'1". Does that help you?
And take it as read.
5-11 to 3-4, 41 to 22. Carlton have kicked the last 3 goals in this match. Ratton out wide to Pearce. Big danger now for North Melbourne. Pearce at centre wing. Kernahan the target. Madden was there. Quick left foot. Laidley. Fraser Brown robbed him. Left foot snap. He's got it. Well, they've opened the game up all of a sudden, haven't they? Split it open, the Blues.
And they're celebrating into the middle of the ground, Carlton. But here you see just very quick play there. I think that was Barry Mitchell, the balding Barry Mitchell, who got the ball forward, and that is worth just a couple of kicks, just gaining the ground.
So a throw up in the centre, and away goes Madden to Ratton, Brown. Just a little jumper pull there on Mitchell. Well, the umpire calls play on. Christou, sure-footed, around onto his left foot, gets good distance too across his right shoulder, in towards the centre. No mark, the ball spills to the back. Justin Madden, well done. Those kicks are also important. Goes to half forward. Kernahan, Spalding. Little kick by Clappe, again in the action. Blakey will relieve. No, he won't. Good smother. Chance for Koutafidis. Well, that was pretty good. And the kick is perfect. Bradley has done. I say that's pretty good because he kept his footing, steadied, and then kicked accurately to find Bradley when players have had difficulty in doing that for most of the day.
Calling for the towel. He wanted it from anywhere, didn't he?
What are you got with about his shorts?
He looks like he's got some dry tots on. Craig Bradley, though, is, along with a few players, has broken this game up in the last 15 minutes of play, just before half-time, and now the start of this third quarter. And he is a great shot at goal.
Well, Bradley kicks the goal. That's Carlton's 7th, and they now lead by 31 points. Bearing in mind that the margin at half-time was 13 points. The Blues have kicked the first 3 goals of the second half.
Well, the magic's disappeared for North Melbourne at this stage, and I don't think there's anything wrong there with putting Carey even into the middle of the ground.
7-11 to 3-4. Gee, all of a sudden, Carlton. They were promising before half-time to take charge. They've done it now. They've kicked straight. 3 straight goals in this third term after 4-11 to half-time. Schwass forces it out.
great level of sport, isn't it? 4 weeks ago, North Melbourne were the talk of the town. The magic's disappeared. And really are struggling now.
Dean over the top. Mitchell goes off the ground and kicks it out of bounds on the full. Not the best choice there by Barry Mitchell. Came off the interchange bench today. Former best and fairest of the Sydney Swans. Ross Smith from half-back to centre wing. Carey. Oh, couldn't hold it. He's not having a good one. Ratton. Whitehead was in there. And again a bounce or throw up just in North Melbourne's attacking half. 3 goals for North Melbourne, and the umpires with their numbers. Madden. Carey tries a left footer. Here's Schwass. Smothered. Another go at it, Camporelli. With him, Scott. And out of play. Carlton's not the sort of team either, Gerard, to let you off the hook these days. Their defence is miserly. They won't give much away.
No, they're a direct paradox to North Melbourne's position, where they were written off at the start of the year, but have really, I think, projected themselves to be the best side in Melbourne.
Christou, drag, but still got his left foot to it, back towards the wing. Marcus taken by Carey. And is he trying to assert a little bit of authority there? Because try someone out a little bit bigger than Barry Mitchell, maybe. The kick towards half forward. Chance for McKay. Handball over the top. Was deemed as a throw. Well, he could be a bit stiff. It happened right in front of the umpire. But Andrew McKay, the ball slipping as he tried to get his fist to it. Free kick to Clarkson. Difficult shot for goal. He's going to have to kick the ball 45 metres to even get to the line. And it will struggle. Right on the line, it will be helped through by Dean for a rush behind to North Melbourne. So even those efforts by Peter Dean are being clapped by the Carlton fans at this stage. They lead 53-23, and the margin is exactly 30 points. Christou with the football. Goes in short and finds Hannah. Hannah had a terrific first half. He's 15 kicks and 8 handballs now. Out to the wing, good mark taken by McKernan. Handled that ball quite well off to Schwass. Schwass's kick to the front of the goals. Nearly the mark taken by Silvani. Taken by Christou. Away to Hannah. Hannah's left foot kick is pretty well up and under. Good play to knock it to the back. Madden. Oh, off the ground on the full. And the finish by Blakey. So the free kick to be taken for the Blues by Brown.
And I think it's that kick by Schwass into the forward line that has exemplified people's criticisms of North Melbourne, because he was only kicking it to a pack, and they really haven't got the crumbs of note to create something out of nothing.
Spalding after Koudafidi's good play. Well, Ross Smith tried a half volley. Pearce, they've got to hold him up here, North Melbourne. Pearce's kick, it's given Camporelli a chance. King to go with him. King will want the boundary line, and he gets it. It's his only option in the end. They had an interesting start to the game. Camporelli giving a 50-metre penalty away. Pearce, King gold, and then about 5, 6, 7 minutes later, Camporelli got one back. A goal, that is. Bradley to Brown. Good distance in a way, Brown getting back fairly, takes the mark. It's the leading goal kicker of the club before John Longmire really came along. That was in 1989. Longmire played a couple of seasons before that, but he's dominated since. Good tackle on Freeborn. Martin's quick kick. Back towards half-back. McKay attacks it strongly. Archer with him. Still McKay. Hip and shoulder. Looked pretty fair there by North Melbourne. And Stevens now at half-back.
Stevens kicks North Melbourne into their attacking half. Out wide at left half forward. Whitehead quite prepared there to allow the ball to go over. Not that he could do much about it. Robert Scott in the picture. Boundary throw in, left half forward for the Kangaroos. Right in front of where the players enter the arena, Madden, but it's McKernan in front. Whitehead a chance, and he's quite happy to have it go over for another throw-in. So a battle between two sides in the first half. Certainly changed quite dramatically in the opening minutes of the third term, and the Blues kicked 3 quick goals. Schwass off his right foot to half forward, punched away. Play there by Ratton, pretty good. Brown, well done. Gets the handball back towards the boundary line. Taken by Carey, he's kicked towards the pocket. Silvani, little kick. Allison from deep in the pocket. Allison's kick is out on the full.
And a bit of footwork there by Alistair Clarkson.
Christou will bring it back into play for Carlton and goes for the long kick. Percentages certainly in favour there of Carlton, taken by King. His kick is out on the full, is it? Or touched off the boot?
Ricocheted off the blue player, but it's above the knee, Robert.
Well, not too many people out there that would be prepared to get the ball back over the fence, Bruce. A few empty seats in the background there. Everybody at the football today, or most of them, up under shoulder. McKay up high, two-fisted. Back towards the wing where it's gathered by Schwass. Schwass's kick is being safely marked by Carey. Got the attention. So 5 kicks to Wayne Carey. Has to kick a goal for North Melbourne here. Doesn't quite get onto it. Kicks it to the front of the square. Punched away by Silvani. Off the ground by Sexton. Clears the 50 metres. Chance now for the Blues to get clear. This is Clappe. Clappe's little kick has been weighted for Hannah. If it sits, Hannah's a real chance here. Attempted kick off the ground. Pearce goes in. He's got the football underneath. Could be penalised. No, the umpire was quite prepared to throw it in the air on centre wing as North Melbourne make a change, and the Blues are preparing for their what is nearly deemed now as a predictable change. Madden to come off and Allen to come back on. Koutoufides to Clappe. Clappe to the goal front.
Well done.
Bradley, but strength provided by Blakey. In goes Kernahan. Bradley gets it clear. Well done. Koutoufides, can he find some space? No. Handball, Clappe. Clappe goes back to Mitchell. Mitchell from 50 metres. This will bounce through for a goal. Unattended goal, and Barry Mitchell summed that up pretty well. He threw it onto his boot, and again, some creative play provided by Bradley. The Blues get their 8th goal.
Yeah, they just worked this from the pack. Bradley holding possession until he could give it to his teammates' advantage. And there we see Clappe finding Mitchell under pressure. And Mitchell going with the Monkwell torpedo and doing it pretty well.
6 goals the margin now. Gee, all the Blues. Isn't it? Carlton 8-11 to 3-5. North needing a couple in a big hurry. Brown off the ground, inside the 50. Martin held his ground very well, fairly. Kernahan puts the pressure on. Archer's handball to King. King through the centre square. Not a good kick off the side. Completely outnumbered here, North Melbourne. Stevens, McKay. Reynolds has now got the gloves on. Silvani gets it back. Allen goes with Carey. Carey having a run. Danilchenko's handball. Capuano has just come onto the ground. Armstrong tackled by Sexton. Christou goes for it, goes over. McKernan, the tackle good on him. Dean ridden into the ground, gets a free kick.
Put his body in a beautiful spot there, Peter Dean.
Got Fraser Brown wide, decides to go into the centre. 2 options here. Koutoufides, good athlete that he is, to Ratton. Ratton to centre half forward. Kernahan and Martin, been a great contest. Bradley waiting down, well played again, Martin. Freeborn to Capuano. Bradley worried him out. Bradley's been tremendous. Koutoufides, bouncing ball. Skidder, it's rolling through. Another one. It's raining goals now for the Blues. Bradley again in the middle of it all. Good side this, Gerald.
Yes, Carlton, I've got just slightly in front of Essendon as the best side that Melbourne has at the present time. They really are teaming well. They're on a mission. They were embarrassed last year. They lost the grand final in 1993. And I think they all know in their heart of hearts that this is the last time they've got a chance for the flag.
Gee, Bradley's been pretty good, Bruce. 11 kicks, 6 handballs, and he's also kicked 2 goals. The Blues force it forward again. Blakey, Ross Smith, a kick across his left shoulder, but it's Hannah. There's a chance. Only just a chance, outnumbered. Stevens gets back. Danilchenko provides the shepherd. The kick has been well marked by Archer. Archer's on centre wing. His kick is ordinary. McKay gets back. Now, that's a perfect example of the finessing breaking down. Mitchell short kick into the centre. Gathered well by Big Allen. Allen throws it onto his right foot. The kick to half forward. Spalding, the ball left behind. In goes Kernahan. He flips it out the back and the umpire decides on a toss in the air. And these conditions have just worsened since the start of the game. The rain just hasn't eased off at all. Spalding, Brown, tackled by Freeborn. Brown gets a fist to it, doesn't really clear the congested area. Stevens, Brown again, gets the handball. Clappe, now a chance for Spalding. The kick to the front of the square's been safely marked by Ross Smith.
Who goes out wide to half-back. Danger there, good play by Allen. Pearce has got hold of it, kicked 2 goals in the first half. Laidley back there to carry it through. Allen going well, isn't he, this season, the big fella. That was some good footy by him. Cut it off.
Wasn't a bad kick by Pearce either.
Good one. 9-12, 3-5. Blakey comes short. North Melbourne, you'd say shell-shocked at the moment. They were hammered by Richmond, slaughtered and flattened by West Coast, and it's happening again. Brown to the goal square, that time Smith.
Kicked just 1 point in this third quarter, Bruce, North Melbourne.
Malcolm Blight made the point about their percentage last week on Talking Footy that it was pretty low. Early days, sure, but it's going to take a hammering today unless something happens in a hurry. And they need a couple of goals to get some respectability back. Off the ground by Allison. Silvani getting to it and punching it out. It's a real drought at one end and a flood at the other at the moment. And the Blues are really enjoying this, I believe, at 9-12 to 3-5.
Boundary throw in 50 metres from the Kangaroos' goal. McKernan gets a left hand to it. Tackled, but he didn't have the ball, was Armstrong. Is that advantage? No, it will come back.
Fairly off for Longmire there, Robert.
The lights are on.
Well, let's hope it can warm North Melbourne up a little bit, because they are just getting beaten in every facet of the game. I tipped North Melbourne today because I thought their hunger perhaps would be a little bit stronger than the undefeated Carltons, but Carlton have just had a feast out here today.
Well, they lead at the moment 9-12 to 3-5, so North Melbourne could really do with a goal. The kick to the goal front, Archer misses it. Kick off the ground by Mitchell, clears for Bradley. Bradley's kick well outside 50 metres, but only as far as King. King can run on and kick effectively back in towards centre half forward. Punched away by the Carlton defence. Dean dominant. Camporelli along the boundary line. Gathered by Whitehead was pretty good. Handball over the top, Mitchell. And the Blues are away, although Mitchell scragged to the ground. The kick into the centre of the ground. Taken by Spalding. Tackled by Longmire. Ball spills to a loose area 50 metres from the Carlton goal. Out goes Ross Smith. Backs himself. Then a short kick along the line has been marked by Laidley.
Centre wing, good play by Smith. Took a chance against Pearce. Goes in short. Half volley by Capuano. Onto the left then, almost a half forward. Armstrong trying to dummy one handball. Now free kick I think going to Armstrong against Camporelli, high tackle. King and Dean getting tangled up. Archer just holding Dean up. So Armstrong centering to McKernan. Oh, Bradley, well done against McKernan. Talk about David and Goliath. Capuano, Danilchenko, quick kick off a stand. Bradley gets back. Well, he could have given it to Silvani. He decided not to. Well, he hasn't made too many mistakes.
I don't think he'd want to have another look at that. See, look at the Rye smile. But still,
it's like, I reckon that's like having a 2-footer and taking 2 putts. It happened in America last weekend where a bloke took 2 putts over a 2-footer to win the championship. I hope it knows, but it still happened.
He didn't want to be reminded of that either.
He dragged it from 2 feet.
Carey's marked the ball outside 50. He gets good distance with the kick. Lands in short at the back. Armstrong. Can he kick a goal for North Melbourne? Armstrong. It's not a bad snapshot, but he may have missed off to the left. And just North Melbourne's third score for the quarter. They were 3-4 at half-time. They've progressed to 3-7, but the Blues, who were 4-11, are now 9-12. Still Carlton lead comfortably, 9-12 to 3-7. 4 3/4 minutes left in the third quarter. This is Christou, part of that very closely knit Carlton defence, and the mark taken by Allen. Camperelli hasn't had much of a time on the ground, but what he's done pretty well. The kick is not too bad. Out towards the wing. Blakey rebounds for Brown. Can he regain his footing? Yes. Oh, grabbed around the neck. That was rather rough and very...
bit crude, Robert.
Yes, it was, wasn't it, by Denelchenko, and the free kick is with Brown. Brown's got Allen near the centre. He can go even shorter, and he does. Finds Whitehead. Looks a little different with the short haircut. Does Whitehead. Goes long, gets about 40 metres up in the Kernahan direction, tries to flip it out the back for Spalding. The gather, effective, very effective by Clappe. And he finds Sexton. Now, Sexton is a pretty good kick of the football. But you'd wonder whether he could get the distance. It's an unattended goal. He kicks it in long, and in his endeavours to get the distance, fails with the accuracy, and it's out of bounds on the full. So the free kick to be taken by Dean Laidley in the left back pocket for the Kangaroos. Fairly ordinary scoreline for them. Nearly up to three-quarter time. They've only managed 3 goals, 7.
Gets it to the 50. Juggling mark by Archer. Struggled for touches today. He's got a lot of mates though. Plays on. Centering kick. Rock in the front spot. McKay at the back. Carey went to ground. The champ's just having one of those days. Clappe to Camperelli. Camperelli's been good. In fact, those three have been good. Clappe, Camperelli and Hannah. Hannah right in the centre, looking for Kernahan. It's at the sun trying to break through. The lights are on. Schwass, Mitchell, Martin gets some distance. Hannah underneath. It's had 16 kicks. Good mark by Mill. He's really enjoying himself today. 17 kicks and 9 handballs for Hannah. Centering kick to centre half forward. Kernahan was at the back. Clappe. It's been excellent. Good handball back to Ross Smith. Smith chips away. Oh, Blakey's out on the full.
Out on the full, wasn't it?
No,
only centimetres in it.
Well,
oh, didn't quite get it, did we? Line ball, you could say there. 9-12 to 3-7. Carlton have kicked the last 7 goals in this match. Laidley to Brown. Brown goes inside the 50. Kernahan taps it down. Chance for Mitchell. Ricochets. Now Schwass.
Schwass can clear for North Melbourne. He runs through centre half back. He could get run down. Well done, Spalding. Good chase. Stevens over the top to King. King kicks it wide. Out towards left half forward. Leading out there is Stephen Silvani. He's quite happy to see it go over. And interesting there. Keenan Reynolds with the gloves on. So not too many gloves being used. Big Matthew Allen high over the top, gets his right fist to it. Stevens a little kick off the ground, only goes as far as Ratton. Ratton's kicking towards half forward. Oh, no talking. Now that really is a sign of what North Melbourne are having to contend with. The Blues get the ball up towards full forward. Martin and Kernahan. Martin, well done. He's probably been North Melbourne's best player apart from the first 6 or 8 minutes of the game. Kernahan kicked 3 behinds. 1 North Melbourne player still down after that marking clash just a few seconds ago. There's a safe chest mark taken by Sexton. 2 North Melbourne players down, actually. Ross Smith
and John Mormont.
Yeah, it's bad luck because it was something that perhaps could have been avoided, but they're really having a sorrowful day, the Kangaroos.
They're 2 plays short in the ground, Robert.
Well, the Blues really should get a goal in, shouldn't they, if they use this football efficiently. Hannah's kicked to half forward, but sticky fingers provided there by Capuano, and he holds up Carlton's onslaught there at centre-half back. Laidley gets the hand pass back. Blakey back to Laidley, going nowhere, the Kangaroos. Across the half-back line, the mark has been taken by Allison.
Has Stevens short if he wants him, goes to Archer, goes to ground. Well done, though, to get it back. Handball away, McKay crashes through, Armstrong holds him up. Off the ground by Allison. Scott in the right place, in the centre square. He's had a quiet one, Scotty. That's only his 2nd kick. A wobbler. Carlton with 3-1. Denelchenko, rock round the body. Bouncing ball. He's hit the post. Well, he's unlucky.
That sums up North Melbourne's afternoon, I'd suggest.
Well, look at this. This is symbolic of their afternoon, isn't it, Gerald?
Yes, well, the good thing is that both players are having a go at the ball, but
keeping their eyes on it.
there wasn't any communication, and sometimes that does break down under these circumstances.
Hannah tries to torpedo. Dean punches it out of play. So Carlton right on top. 9-12 to 3-8.
Only seconds left in the third term, and it's been all Carlton. In this third quarter, they've kicked 5 goals. And, of course, North Melbourne yet to add to their goal tally from half-time. Schwass. And he's been tackled, didn't have the football. But really, the siren should go before any more scorers added, although Schwass's kick will get North Melbourne to within scoring distance. At the back of the pack, Ratton prepared to hack it off the ground, and it's out of bounds in the right forward pocket for North Melbourne as the siren sounds for three-quarter time, and at three-quarter time the Blues hold a very, very good lead. They're 9-12-66, North Melbourne 3-8-26.
But if it's
Might finish up 10 to 6 or something, yeah.
Start of the final term, Carlton lead by 40 points after dominating the third. 9-12 to 3-8. Pearce in the goal square for the Blues. Longmire off the ground with a cork thigh for North Melbourne. And I'm just looking for Kernahan.
I was about to say, Bruce, I think he may be on the bench.
So Pearce at full forward. He's had 17 kicks, Pearce, in the first 3 quarters. Kicked a couple of goals. Freeborn's handball. Bit sus, but pretty hard to ping. Rock tried to go off the ground. Handball back by Armstrong to Schwass. Schwass got a little kick away. Silvani, Christo it is, both playing with long sleeves, and they've both been very good. Allison over the top of the footy, claimed by a couple of Carlton defenders, and it's going to be a throw up about 55 metres from North Melbourne's goal.
We know Sticks Kernahan missed a couple of weeks ago because he had a strained groin or stomach muscle, and under these circumstances it's terrific to aggravate it. Pretty good move by Carlton getting him off.
So one of those days where it's easy to aggravate?
For sure. Heavy grounds, and Bear Gleeson, Robbo, back on the ground.
Mickey Martin having a run also on the forward line for North Melbourne. So Dennis Pagan trying a few moves. Important that the Kangaroos run this right out. They look as if they've got no chance of winning, but most important, they don't give it away. Whitehead's kick to centre wing. Archer did pretty well actually in the end to keep his feet. Schwass to King. Broke the Camporelli tackle. Centres the ball to full forward. Big fly came from McKernan. Just tapped forward by Dean. Armstrong looking for a free kick. Clappe's been tremendous to Brown. Brown to centre wing.
And fortunately for him, the kick slewed off the side of his boot for Spalding. Spalding's kick not bad, and a good mark. That was well done too by Pearce. Strong chest mark. He can kick to the goal square where Hannah's made good position. The kick falls in short and bounces just in front of Hannah and his opponent Danilchenko and goes over for a throw-in.
I think the other news, of course, is that John Longmire, who had a heavy clash with Ross Smith in the third quarter, is also off the ground with a heavily bandaged left thigh, and he's probably got a very nasty corky.
Gee, very impressive statistics for Mill Hannah. 20 kicks and 9 handballs, playing on the wing. Struggle for possession. Umpire will be forced to throw it in the air.
You'd think Longmire would be in doubt for next week's game against Hawthorn.
He hobbled off terribly.
Well, he didn't look too good
just at the start of this quarter. Umpire just prepared to throw it in the air. Spalding down to Laidley. Laidley's kick has been marked by Danilchenko, and he's about 35, maybe 40 metres from the Carlton goal. He plays on quickly, then kicks it out towards the centre of the ground. Ooh. And a good leap and attempted mark has been paid to McKay. Came to the ground very heavily. He's a good player, McKay, for the Blues. Only had 4 kicks but 9 handballs. More importantly, he's defended terrifically. Brown and off to Ratton. His kick to full forward. Kick it off the ground. They do. Who's got it? Gleeson or Spalding?
Big Earl.
Who cares? It's a goal to the Blues. Gleeson may be credited with it, but it's Carlton's 10th goal, 72, plays 26.
I'll have $1 with you, Robbo. I think it was Earl. Got the boot on it, but Gleeson was certainly running back, claiming it.
Certainly was set up, wasn't it? Well, I still don't know, to be quite honest with you.
But I'm backing Earl because it was one of his great shots at goal.
Well, I'll give it to Gleeson, and we'll see what happens when it's tallied up. 72 plays 26. The play is restarted. Fraser Brown tries to get through. Gee, it's difficult, isn't it? Look at that. That's right where the umpire, if he tried to, would bounce the ball under normal circumstances. Just prepared to throw it in the air.
So the Blues have now kicked the last 8 goals in this match. That's a real wipeout for North Melbourne, isn't it?
Now, Robbo, do you think the game has lacked anything today because the umpire's thrown the ball in the air as against bouncing?
No, not at all. No, I think it's a good idea because it just doesn't go unpredictably one way or the other.
Madden wins it clearly. Blakey held on to from Sporting. Sporting's hurt himself too. Free kick to John Blakey. His 3rd season at North Melbourne. He's a very honest player, but that one not good. Into Sporting. Then tackles him Blakey, carries Sporting forward. Schwass, Bond went to ground. He's the new man on the ground. Now Madden. Back to Sporting. Gee, it's hard in there. Schwass claiming a free kick. Sporting able to get it through. Christou tries to barge his way through. It's about as close to a rugby union match as you'd ever see in AFL. High in the air. Stevens caught. Couldn't get it away. I think Fraser Brown's run into a bit of form today, by the way. Then King at centre wing. Clever kick actually by King to bring it into the corridor. Ratton, Christou, Brown tried to half volley it, snare it. Laidley picked it up on his left. Martin getting underneath it. A juggle. He's played pretty well, Mickey Martin at full back. Sexton's got him. McKernan. Oh, that was hard on Martin, I thought.
Yeah, I think once the tackle forced the ball clear, play on would have been a terrific decision.
Sexton not good. Armstrong cuts it off at half forward.
Yeah, he can be pretty stiff, Mickey Martin there, but Armstrong will kick North Melbourne back into attack to half forward. Excellent attempt there by McKay. Ratton missed it. Martin goes for goal. He's kicked it. North Melbourne have got their 4th goal. Well, it's been a long time coming. They were 3 goals at half time, and they've kicked their 4th goal well into the last quarter. So a long drought for North Melbourne as far as the goal scoring is concerned.
Halfway through the 2nd quarter, Robbo, their last goal.
Yeah, Mick Martin just moving up the ground. I think it's a pretty good move there from Dennis Pagan to keep him going. Kernahan's now not playing, and he had his measure. Wayne Carey now to full forward. They do still need a couple of goals just for their own benefit.
There's respectability, but the Blues have kicked the goal in this last term as well. This is Bradley, gets it clear out onto a grassy area wide of the centre cricket pitch. Camperelli tackled, didn't have the football. The umpire deems that as a play on decision, and eventually it just trickles over as we have another look at the Gleeson and Spalding goal.
Spalding.
It's $1, Robert.
Now, see me after the show, Jared.
Stevens. Caught by McKay. Capuano to Freeborn.
Could have been deep as a throw.
What a debut for Freeborn in these conditions. Martin off the ground. Well done. Scott and Dean. Dean's a good player. Good take by Whitehead. Doesn't get very far with it. McKay. Stevens. Let's sit. Well, sit's not the operative word today. Gets some distance. Stevens right there, in fact. Free kick to Allison.
Played for it, did it well. The umpire just came in beautifully.
Allison trying to indicate that maybe the kick should be taken on a better angle.
Christou can't believe it. Allison, who kicked 35 goals last year, scored his 1st goal for the season in the 1st quarter today. He's got it. And Jared, this is what we said at 3/4 time. It was important for North to get something from the mess today.
Yeah, and they can do that by really continuing to play the way they have in this opening few minutes of the last quarter. They've had a more open forward line. They've got the ball through quickly. You couldn't blame Carlton for stopping just that little bit, Robbo, under these circumstances, because you would think they've got the game well and truly in hand.
Well, at this stage, it's 1 goal to the Blues in the last term and 2 goals to North Melbourne. Christou in trouble. Freeborn just able to squeeze a kick out of it. Martin strong. He's added a little bit of toughness to the forward line. McKernan goes down. Sexton kicks it clear for Carlton. Out near the wing. The Blues have got the numbers here. Bradley, little kick off the ground, okay. And then knocks it clear. Well, that is just terrific football by Craig Bradley. And Brown turns his opposition inside out and then kicks it to half forward. Oh, great effort. Is that a mark? Yes, says the umpire. Congratulations, Spalding. He just scooped that up, and any cricket team would have been proud of that. Snatched by Earl Spalding. He's kicking towards half forward. Mark taken by Koutafidis.
It's a pretty tidy piece of play by Fraser Brown to get it to Spalding.
Yes, yes. Well, it started off with Bradley, didn't it? That
desperate lunge.
Smack towards Brown, and Brown's kick towards Spalding, and then, of course, Spalding to Koutafidis.
I just noticed the Carlton runner going out to Craig Bradley. Obviously, the coaching staff at Carlton pretty pleased with Bradley's performance.
Koutafidis at the start of this quarter, the ball would have been a new one, but well, again, his endeavours to get distance lacks the accuracy, and it's out of bounds on the full in the left back pocket for North Melbourne, and it's Archer to kick it back in.
Gets it just outside 50. McKernan was his target. Rock slewed off it to cover the distance. Camporelli had a high tackle, no free kick. Stevens, Freeborn and Mackay. Mackay over the top looking for a free. Schwass comes in late. It's going to be a throw up. So it's 5-8 to 10-12. 38 to 72. Quarter time scores were level. Carlton led by 13 points at half time and stretched it right out to 40 at three-quarter time. Camporelli there, and also Koutafidis. Stevens picks himself up, throws the footy back. So the Blues going pretty well. Rain persistent, pretty heavy. Carlton with a winning lead, you'd expect. Gleeson left it behind. Bradley back towards Dean. Koutafidis, Mackay, Hannah. Gee, that hot shower's going to be a good one tonight, particularly if you're a Blue. Dean, well done. Archer had an airy. Clappe, clever, got it to within about 35 metres. Capuano, back to Ross Smith. Round the body, only as far as Camporelli. Can go on here, Camporelli. Has a vacant goal square, good kick. Right there. Hannah's at the back with Pearce. They can raffle it. Hannah gets his first.
Good kick by Camporelli, Bruce. You mentioned that, but it just had the penetration to set it up for the Blues in the goal square.
I think he saw the scenario.
Yeah, my word.
And went for it, didn't he?
Yep.
And you see Brad Pearce just playing his little part here also. And Robbo, you were mentioning him as a pretty effective player for Carlton at three-quarter time. He really has added something to the
Oh, my word. He's had 19 possessions and kicked two pretty good goals, both coming in the second term. The umpire, again, prepared to just throw it in the air, which not a bad ploy, even in maybe dry conditions, where you sometimes see the bounce of the ball certainly favour one side or the other. You wonder whether that's really fair in footy today.
Well, it's going to be always that argument about tradition versus effectiveness.
Well, the throw in the air there, it was Madden getting it clear. Bradley's little kick off the ground sets it up for Mil Hannah. He can get it around onto his right foot if he can gather the ball. He does. Handball a bit too far for Brown. Brown gives away a bit of ground. Bond gets into the action. Can't control it. And I'm sure he'd love to get a few touches of the footy. Troy Bond spent the first 4 matches in the reserves. Boundary throw in, centre wing. Capuano, number 16 for North Melbourne. Madden gets the tap to the back. Well done by Bond. Pretty pacey, and then kicks it effectively off the left foot in towards the forward pocket area. Ross Smith takes it clear for the Kangaroos. Boundary throw in about 35 metres around from the Carlton goal, and the scoreboard shows that the Blues lead 11-12, 78 North Melbourne. Lagging badly at 5-8-38. The margin 40 points, and that's what it was at three-quarter time.
Spalding with the left hand. Almost out. Gleeson with it. I think Laidley with him, and it's going to be a throw-in. So just over 10 minutes remaining. North Melbourne 38 to 78. As Robbo said, that was the margin at three-quarter time. Carey's had a really quiet day for North Melbourne. Martin, arguably their best, now up forward. Fairly goes to ground. And again a throw up. Just kicked a goal, Mickey, in the last quarter. At 45 metres from the goal. So North losses to West Coast, Richmond and seemingly Carlton in a row now. The steam's gone out of their start to the season. They'll have to regroup and come back hard. At 50 metres now, Fraser Brown. Been all right, Brown, today. 10 kicks, 9 handballs. Forcing his way back into the team. He's had some hamstring problems this year. Off the ground by Allison. McKay tries a little one. Freeborn has to give it up. Stevens gets over the top. Carlton with numbers. Camporelli, Gleeson, Carey with him. Danilchenko, Hannah with him. Good reflexes by McKay. Didn't travel 10 metres though. Stevens goes off the ground. Christou. Allison kept his feet. Scott, Whitehead with him. Scott tries to kick it off the ground. Can't get hold of the footy. Paddle forward by Freeborn. Martin had an airy completely. Scott off the ground. Gee, it's hard conditions. Sexton held up. Play on. Ratton. Martin. High tackle by Gleeson. Free kick to Mickey.
Well, North Melbourne's attack has looked considerably better with Mick Martin up there, and I would think playing Hawthorn next week, if John Longmire is fit, he'll be lining up on Dunstall and Mick Martin will be in the forward line.
Tries a torpedo punt, gets to the goal square. Allison still in play. Handball back to Rock, tucked away in the pocket. Centering kick to the square. Punch from the back from Koutafidis. Well, Ratton just worried Scott out of it. And with sheer strength was able to get it into the centre square. Sexton off the ground.
It was well done by the Blues to clear the ball from full back. It's back near the centre of the ground. The kick off the ground may set it up for Hannah. Danilchenko is his immediate opponent. And the players there quite happy to see it go over. What a hardened lot the Australian rules football fan is, Bruce. I mean, this rain just hasn't stopped all day. And you have a look in the background there, well, that's the players' race where they come on. But there are people just sitting out in the open here, obviously with some covering. But, gee whiz, they've just sat there all day. Nearly 3 hours of watching footy in the rain. They're terrific. The kick to half forward. McKernan gets it to Capuano. Capuano across his body to full forward. Good mark. Percentage player, Stephen Silvani, in front. Long sleeves, hugged it to his chest. Kicks to the wing. Mitchell, handball over the top. McKay's kick, not too bad. Gets about 40 metres up near the 50-metre line. Kicked back by Ross Smith towards the centre of the ground. Punched away. Mitchell again, the crumb gatherer, gets past and then unselfishly gives the handball to Andrew McKay. McKay is from right half back, right centre wing, towards full forward, punched away. The ball there to be gathered by the smaller players, but Ross Smith prepared to knock it over. And we'll have a throw in about 35-40 metres around from the Blues goal. They lead 11-12 to 5-8, and there's 7.5 minutes left before the boys can go and have a hot shower, which has already been mentioned. North Melbourne will look forward to it because their day has been quite miserable. Not clear by Bond. Gleeson, kick off the ground by Schwass. Goes only as far as Bradley. Tries to get past Schwass. Not really all that successful. Now, is that too high? That tackle by Anthony Koutafidis on Laidley. Umpire calls for a ball up. Just inside the 50-metre area for Carlton. Their goal kickers, well, Pearce and Bradley have kicked 2 each. And for North Melbourne, Allison has kicked 2 goals. The rest are all singles on both sides of the ledger. Ian fairly tied up there by Barry Mitchell, and the umpire will throw it in the air once again.
What about North Melbourne, Robbo? Do you think they can rebound?
Well, they've disappointed me, Jared. I thought that they'd probably be a little bit better, but they haven't been all that impressive. They fluked Adelaide. Melbourne played well and led them by about 5 goals at one stage, and they've lost the other 2, plus this one.
Ratton's kick off the side, out of bounds on the full. So
they've just got so many people out of form.
Blakey to bring it back in.
To see Craig Scholl and Mark Roberts in the seconds. Wayne Carey's down on 4.
They tell me Adrian McAdam missed training on Thursday night and may be disciplined because of it. Not a good sign.
No.
Out of bounds right in front of us. McKay and Rock together.
And really the regeneration or the rejuvenation has got to come from within. Dennis Pagan can instruct all he likes, but it's that senior core of players that are going to have to lead from the front.
Rock's kick doesn't go far. Archer keeps his eye on it. So does Clappe. Good take by Schwass onto his right leg. Gets good distance though. Silvani attacking as he's done all day. Denilchenko after it. Hanna and Silvani. Well done Denilchenko, except he does give the free kick away. He became clumsy in the end, unfortunately. His endeavour was good, but 42,729, that's a great crowd today, isn't it?
My word, that's what I say there. They're a hardened lot. There's a lot of them under shelter, but gee whiz, there's still a lot out there getting wet, Bruce.
Tremendous crowd. Hanna out wide to Bond at centre wing.
32nd possession for Hanna. 22 kicks and 10 handballs.
Picnic.
Bond gets it to half forward. Clappe and Archer. Schwass. And he thumps it out of play. So not much happening now. Carlton home and hosed. They've kicked 2 goals in this last quarter and so have North. Schwass 20 kicks, 5 handballs, but ironically he started on Hanna and Hanna had the better of him.
Allen now having a run for the Blues underneath that Blakey. Couldn't break clear. And the umpire will throw it in the air.
I'm sure North will be looking forward to getting big Alex Ishenko back too, which...
Yes, that adds a little bit of flavour, doesn't it, when he gets into the ruck and they can release maybe McKernan and Capuano into key positions. Gleeson just gets its left foot to it. King, Blakey, back towards the line, Laidley. Or maybe, well, you couldn't really criticise anybody here for the ball handling because it's been extremely difficult. Rebounds back to Capuano, tackled by Mitchell. Gleeson, now big Allen, gets into the action. Ball spills, chance for Bond. He's tackled by Stevens. Attempted kick off the ground, went towards the Carlton goal, gathered by Schwass. And under the pressure that he was to be confronted with, Wayne Schwass could do nothing more than kick it to the line. Boundary umpires being worked quite hard during the afternoon. Plenty of exercise for them. Little kick by Rock, didn't quite go far enough. Hanna's kick did, up to the 50-metre line. Bradley was good. In goes King. Christou, what's he doing up there? Trying to get into the goal-kicking action. Chance for Gleeson. No. King. Spills now for Clappe. Pearce may get his third. He does. So a workmanlike performance by Brad Pearce. He would have to be a contender for votes. He's had 19 kicks and kicked 3 goals, and that registers the Blues' 12th goal for the game.
And he's also been important up in that forward line. Really a big fellow like Kernahan and Carey, Longmire to a lesser extent, nowhere near as effective under these circumstances.
Back in the centre, Pearce with 3 goals. A good kick by Clappe actually, to keep it right into the corridor and give him the run. Barry Mitchell's kick out wide, Hanna out wide. So Carlton are 12-12 to 5-8. 3.5 minutes remaining. Tremendous statistics for Mil Hanna. Carlton fans rejoicing. More than 42,000. The official attendance. Blakey's quick kick. Christou. Mitchell tried to provide a shepherd. Christou ridden into the ground by Allison. Martin to Rock. Rock's little one. Carey, Dean. McKernan. Carey off the ground. Effective. Inside 50. McKay and Stevens out of play.
McKay came from behind his opponent then, Bruce. He started off about 2 metres behind, made up the ground. Lousy Andrew McKay, not prepared to give away any score in the dying minutes of the game.
There's so much to like about him as a footballer, isn't there?
My word.
He's a joy to watch, McKay. Sexton and Martin. Well done, Mickey. He's been North's best. Good kick too by Martin to Rock. Found a way, Martin, hasn't he, to get the footy under pressure. So Rock from the goal square to kick his first.
Be interesting to have a look at say Brownlow medal votes after this game, you know, at the end of the year, because Michael Martin could easily figure Bruce, couldn't he? He's been a tremendous goer all day for the Kangaroos.
So Rock from the goal square kicks the goal his first. North Melbourne get their 6th, so they tied up for this final term. It's 3 goals each in the final term, 6-8 to 12-12.
Well, there he is, the Trojan.
Yeah, well done, Mickey Martin. He really has led from the front, hasn't he, Robbo?
Well, Stephen Kernahan has had 5 kicks for the day, kicked 3 behinds, and they all came in about the first 8 minutes of the game. And then Martin really, well, drove him mad, I guess, by defending grandly. And then he's gone up the front and kicked a goal. So Allen gets his left hand to it. Doesn't really knock it clear far enough. Wayne Schwass and Craig Bradley. The umpire will be quite happy, I would say, to take control. 2 minutes left in the game. Carey. Not a happy day for Wayne Carey. Allen over the top. Rock just left it behind. Chance for Scott. Gets it to Schwass. Schwass, as well as Hannah, has got impressive statistics. Taken by Stevens. His kick across his right shoulder has been marked by Corey McKernan. Carlton led by 13 points at half-time, and in the third quarter, when they kicked 5-1 to 4 behinds, set up a lead that North Melbourne has found to be unassailable. McKernan goes for goal and kicks accurately for his first goal. His first is North Melbourne's 7th goal, and 34 points is the margin in favour of the Blues with a minute and a half left.
Well, nice bit of work here by Anthony Stevens, who feigns a handball, gets rid of McKay, sets up McKernan, who doesn't let him down. He's in front. And often see Silvani beaten for footwork.
Thrown up in the middle again, Allen. Gee, that looked a bit cumbersome by Koutafidis, and the umpire deems it as a free kick to the North Melbourne player. It will come back to Anthony Rock. Free kick being paid against Koutafidis. Rock goes straight down the ground, gets about 35-40 metres with his kick. Gatherers by Camporelli, and it's kicked clear by Allen, was it? And the mark has been taken by Archer on centre wing. Player down in, I would just say, sheer exhaustion is Wayne Schwass.
Archer's kick to about the 50. Scott, McKay. So we're inside the last minute now. 12-12, 7-8. Pretty impressive display by the Blues on a day where it's been very difficult to make your mark. McKay, he'll paddle it out, and it'll be a throw-in. So Carlton remain undefeated. 5 straight wins. They take West Coast on next week at Optus Oval. And for North, 3 consecutive losses, and they have to go against Hawthorn at the MCG next Sunday. Schwass to King. Blazes away around the body to centre half forward Silvani. Hannah had a wonderful match. Kicks to Clappe. Good kick by Hannah. Clappe's been very good. It's his 15th kick coming up. Sexton running for him. Oh, that's great play by the Blues. This might be the final play of the day. Sexton tries a short one off Gleeson. Laidley held up. And Laidley's going to get a free kick, and that's going to be the ball game. So the Blues have won by 34 points at the Melbourne Cricket Ground. 5 in a row for Carlton. And they've taken the points over North Melbourne on a miserable autumn day. There's Kernahan, nothing wrong with him. Just sitting it out after the third quarter.